Hey everyone, welcome back to Redditly. Today's video is titled, Wife of 7 Years Cheated on Me. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload from us. Let's get right into it. Found out my wife was cheating on me this week, going on 3 days since the initial confrontation. I'm still living in a hotel because I can't bear to face her. My wife and I have been together for 10 years. We were married at the age of 23. We have a 3-year-old daughter. She has been struggling with depression for about 5 years, taking various courses of different medications and attempting therapy in many different formats. I've been working at home lately, not actually from the pandemic anymore, but to offer support for childcare. My wife normally stays at home with our daughter and doesn't work otherwise. She had expressed her desires for me to work at home as much as I can, because her meds make it hard for her to wake up early when our daughter does. I've been doing this routine to help her for the better part of 6 months, attempting to both do my full-time job and care for and entertain my daughter simultaneously. Her depression is usually very debilitating. She doesn't like to go out and socialize, doesn't really do anything on her own, and when she needs to interact with the outside world, see a doctor or fill a prescription, she has me do it for her. All of this long backstory for when I think the infidelity started. One day, out of the blue, she told me she was going to go to her OBGYN for a checkup, and then thought it would be nice to get a massage afterwards. Normally, my response to something like this is very positive. Her wanting to do things on her own is encouraging to me. Suggests that she's growing out of her depression, and perhaps her meds are helping. Thinking nothing of it, I said, "Great, that sounds awesome. I'll stay at home and watch our daughter, no problem." The day of her appointment, she was gone for a long time. Like 6.5 hours. When I asked her how it went, I got a very vague answer, and she didn't know how much her massage cost. Thinking nothing of it, I went on about my day. A couple of days later, I was leafing through my credit card statements and noticed a charge for an online care clinic that supplies medication in the mail. I was livid and instantly jumped to conclusions. What had she done? Not wanting to do anything rash, I just ran out of the house and proceeded to get properly drunk at the bar. I came home and confronted her. She told me that this birth control patches she started on gave her skin bumps, and that upon Googling it, thought it might be age, so she sought a solution. But not to worry, the bumps are gone and she doesn't have age. I sobered up the next day and thought, okay, give her the benefit of the doubt. I acted rashly. She let the whole situation fade away suspiciously quickly the next day. I thought this was really weird, given how she usually likes to wallow in our misery instead of moving on. A few weeks go by, the meds she ordered arrive in the mail. She doesn't open them, and thinks I didn't notice their arrival. Then I started seeing huge charges on my credit card start to happen. $300 on yoga clothes, $500 on Victoria's Secret, $400 on clothing, $200 on Sephora, all atypical and out of the blue. All these packages arrive, and I notice I never see what's inside. The items just disappear into our house. One day, I noticed in our dressers some red lingerie I've never seen before. Pulling it out of the drawer, I discover there are 5 more sets of lingerie I've never seen before. At this point, I'm highly suspicious of her. She always asks for a long alone time and hardly talks to me, but is generally happier than she usually is. One day, she asks me if I think it's a good idea to sign up for fitness classes now that they're opening up again. Knowing that exercise is really good for managing her depression, I excitedly encouraged her to do it. She signs up and books a class for 12:15 p.m. that same day. The studio is a 30-minute walk from our house. 2 p.m. comes around and I ask her why she hasn't left yet and that she's going to be late. She says that she can be late and it doesn't take that long to walk there. The same pattern of workout classes repeats several times, each leaving impossible amounts of time to travel, leaving the house with a full face of makeup, and coming home not sweaty or tired. Then this week, I got fed up. She leaves for her class and I use my iPhone on her iPad. She goes to the park just outside our building and stays stationary. Another time, she goes to a nearby hotel. I start to get extremely angry and the world starts to spin. I go find her in the park. I find her sitting on a bench talking with some guy. I take out my phone and make a couple of videos and pictures. Then I go home and I open up her iPad again. This time, I noticed she wrote a password-protected note, but hasn't logged since last using it. Inside, she writes a letter to a guy, almost like a breakup letter. She describes how they're both sharing and confiding in each other about struggles in their marriages. However, since sleeping with each other, he stopped providing comfort to her, and that she feels like they need to stop the relationship. I've since confronted her. She admits that she did was wrong. She admits she was talking to someone she met online for support, but keeps telling me in text messages she never slept with anyone. I don't believe her, should I? I feel like she's angling for a non-contested divorce, or to make it hard for me to prove adultery. I'm trying to still speak to a lawyer, but it all feels very hard to believe that she wasn't being physical. And even if she wasn't, I'm not sure it changes how I feel about it. Anyways, I've been drinking a lot to try and cope, trying to speak with friends and explain what happened, trying to avoid downtime because when the world slows down, the sadness hits hard. Divorce feels daunting. Custody is unbearable to think about. Our finances are completely integrated and I have no idea how we're going to untangle our lives. First comment says, first, stop drinking. Second, she didn't buy lingerie to chat. Third, H is an STD, so unless you gave it to her, ... Fourth, she said she slept with him in the letter she herself wrote, and you both know they went to a hotel. You go to a coffee shop to talk, not to a hotel. Are you really asking if you should believe her? Fifth, she says they talked about their struggles. She is depressed, that is bad, okay. But does she work to do anything to fix that? Or all the responsibility of making her happy falls on you? Seems like she already assigned herself the role of the victim in this. That is your fault for not doing enough. Sixth, from what you mentioned of her letter, she is not finishing the affair because she realizes she did something bad, but because the AP already got what he wanted and is not giving her the attention that she requires. So even if the AP gets cut off, another one will come to take his place. Divorce or forgive, it's up to you. But don't ask us if she's telling the truth. You already know the truth. Second comment says, first, stop drinking. It doesn't help, it only makes your emotional state worse. Second, check your bank and credit card statements for the charges from her OBGYN and the massage, as this is probably the first time they meet up for intercourse. Also, where are the charges from the gym? Your wife made it really easy for you to prove she is cheating. Question is, what are you going to do? You said your wife has been suffering from depression for the last 5 years or so. Do you think it may be from guilt of past infidelity? As usual, when cheaters are caught, it's not the first time they've cheated, just the first time they were caught. I would get a DNA test to make sure your daughter is yours, as far too many times the father finds out the child is a teenager or older that they are not his biologically. Like I said earlier, stop drinking and exercise, as it will be better for stress, anger, and anxiety, as well as for your body, than alcohol, which does the complete opposite. Keep friends and family around you, and that will help you along this path and not let you drink.